Okay, guys, today we're going to be focusing on story elements, and these are all the elements of a story that readers should know, that they should be paying attention to. The first thing that all readers should focus on are characters. Characters are the people, animals, or things in a story that can think, feel, or act. The characters will face a problem and will try to attempt a solution. They'll interact with various settings that go on throughout the story. They typically portray a theme that the reader can then apply to his or her life. Now, there's two kinds of characters. There's a main character or a minor. Main characters are discussed often and support the main story in a significant way. They're going to be mentioned often on most pages. While minor characters are discussed, but the author doesn't spend a lot of time focusing on them. The next thing that readers should focus on is the setting of a story. Now, the setting of a story is where the story takes place. The setting is going to make you typically think of the time period or the era. This helps the reader to identify the genre of a story. So, for example, if it's happening in the past, that's going to let them know, oh, I'm reading historical fiction. Or if it's happening in the future, they're going to realize, oh, this is science fiction. Also, a description of the environment is crucial for the reader so that they can build that mental picture where the characters interact with the setting in a meaningful way. Now, after setting, readers should also be focusing on the sequencing or the order of events in a story. There's usually common words that are used to let the reader know when something's going in sequence. Some of those words are first, next, after, later, finally, and a whole bunch more. And if you remember, we also have those sequencing charts that we talked about this year that help you keep those major order of events happening together as you read a story. Now, all good stories are going to have a problem. And the problem is where the main character or characters of a story face a challenge or they confront something that just goes terribly wrong. Problems typically occur early in a story. The characters spend the majority of the time trying to solve the problem that they're facing. And if you think back to some examples we had earlier this year in the classroom, in the book Escaping the Giant Wave, Kyle faced several challenges, which included confronting a bully, keeping his sister safe during an earthquake, and trying to survive a tsunami. In the book Sathura, the main characters are brothers who struggle to get along and are forced to work their way through a mysterious game, and it actually forces them to come together too. Now, with a problem, you have to have a solution. That's how the problem of a story is fixed or solved. Solutions commonly involve multiple attempts by the main characters, a sequence of events that have to happen first, and then it occurs close to the climax if you remember that exciting part of the story. And that's it. Those are the main things that all readers should be focusing on: characters, setting, a problem, a sequence then to solve that problem, which then leads to a solution.